Would you look at this hair? Hello and welcome to a Brit Reacts to Bollywood, and as we may say in the Irish language, Céad Míle Fáilte, which means 100,000 welcomes. I want to say to all of my friends in India and around the world, Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum and Sat Sri Akal Ji. I am your Brit reacting to Bollywood, and today I want to look at a song from the 100 Greatest Bollywood Songs on BBC Asian Network as voted for by a popular vote, and today's song is from the film Ek Duuje Ke Liye. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I do not speak Hindi, but we've got English subtitles for the song. This film looks fascinating to me. It's quite a potent poster. Very haunting. You've got the cliff edge, you've got the lovers in the blue light, it's quite sad light. You've got the moon's reflection on the water there, and you've got the sort of ghostly image of the man in the mind haunting the woman in the foreground who is his lover, I presume. And what's really interesting about this, and we'll see in the description of the film, she is very light-skinned and he is much darker skinned, and this appears to be a film which touches on race and ethnicity. The film translates into English as We Are Made for Each Other, and it's a 1981 Hindi romantic tragedy film directed by K. Balachandar, starring Kamal, Haasan and Rati Agnihotri. It was a remake of the director's own Telugu film Maro Charitra, which had Kamal Haasan playing the lead role again. The film was labelled a blockbuster. The lyrics were penned by Anand Bakshi and music by Laxmikant Pyarelal, like the last older film we looked at. It received a lot of awards. The plot is, it's about a love between a Tamil man and a North Indian woman who are neighbours in Goa. They come from totally different backgrounds and can hardly speak the other's language. And obviously in India there are a lot of languages and ethnicities. When the two characters admit their love, there is chaos in their homes as they face an unexpected test of their love. The movie begins with an old ruined building near the beautiful beach of Goa. The dilapidated walls of the building are covered with many names, but two names stand apart from the rest, Vasu and Sapna. Vasu is a happy, carefree young lad who belongs to a Tamil family. He resigns his job after his boss scolds him and he returns to home in Goa. His orthodox Tamilian father is always at loggerheads with the Hindu-speaking neighbour family. The family has a beautiful daughter named Sapna, a college student. While being stalked by a perverted librarian on a lonely road, I mean that's a scene worth watching in itself, Sapna finds Vasu jogging and starts a conversation with him. Seeing this, the librarian goes away. Sapna thanks Vasu for pretending to be her friend, but he reveals that he doesn't understand Hindi. Vasu wants to make friends with her, but he unfortunately meets an accident and is admitted at the hospital. A shocked and sad Sapna sends him a gift, a mask with her name behind it. Despite the nasty fights between their families, Vasu and Sapna fall madly in love with each other. They get to know each other, experiencing the joy and innocence of first love. One day, however, Sapna misunderstands Vasu, that he too is just lustful and does not love her truly, and she breaks up with him. Despite Vasu's efforts to make her understand his love, Sapna ignores him and is still angry. A week later, Sapna finds Vasu awake all night looking at her window, hoping that she would forgive him. Heartbroken at seeing him like that, Sapna forgives him and signals him by turning her room light off and on repeatedly. They meet the next day and Sapna expresses her love for Vasu by kissing his hand. The lovers unite and they go around the beaches, forts, waterfalls and scenic places of Goa. It is a very beautiful place. While returning home late night, Vasu's bike runs out of petrol, so they pose as a newly married couple and ask for a lift in a cab, but to their shock, Sapna's father is in the car and he takes her home immediately. Vasu and Sapna keep meeting each other and fall in love even more. One day when Sapna returns from college after meeting Vasu, she finds the perverted librarian at her home. The man has secretly clicked pictures of her and Vasu together and shows it to her parents. Burning with rage, Sapna's mother forbids her from seeing Vasu and accompanies her everywhere she goes. Heartbroken, Vasu makes a plan and stealthily meets Sapna during her college lunch break. And the plot goes on. Suffice to say, Their love is crushed under the pressures of society and their families, and them having to sort of hide and run around to protect their love. Their hearts are tied to each other, really. There's a question mark over whether they will get back together. I think that is the whole plot. I'm really intrigued by this story because it's the most open, obvious address of race and ethnicity within Indian culture, and it faces it head on as a love story, and I'm very fascinated by that. The difference between northern Indians, light-skinned Hindus, and Tamils from the south, and what that means even now, certainly in 1981. And the song is BANE TUM BANE. I'm very excited to see this. Let's watch. Nice. Wow, he's good. That's a stunning green field. Ah, it's very good. Whee! She is beautiful. Look at that stunning scenery. This is so interesting. His form of communication is physical, whereas she communicates in Hindi. Ah! That's so funny. You're an idiot. This is great. This is such a young love song. I love that he's communicating in English now. This is so stunning, this scenery. India is just so green. Beautiful. You say, I don't know what you say. Isn't she beautiful? Oh. So interesting. He's such an interesting character. I love how expressive he is. I love that shot so much. Wow. I love that shot. Very The Sound of Music, the film with Julie Andrews. Ooh. Yeah, that looks like Goa. All those palm trees. I love this song. Know what you say, I don't know what you say. How adorable. Wow. Really nice shots. And they literally ride off into the sunset. I love how beautiful that is. What strikes me is that this is actually a form of Romeo and Juliet again. Very different families, very different tribes, different languages. And that difference is so clear, and I love how beautifully and innocently they play with that. Where they speak different languages. He speaks English and she speaks in Hindi, and they're both basically saying the same thing. But I loved his energy. They're both children and they're both quite innocent. It's such a nice energy and vibe that you get from watching that. This is a really interesting way of expressing that love in what it becomes a tragedy, because often in Romeo and Juliet or things like that you get foreshadowings, you get a lot of ominous feelings, but with this it was the real sense of joyous love and excitement and play, and I really appreciate that. And it's so sad to imagine that it's actually talking about a subject which is even now very difficult around the world. The idea of bigotry and fear of people who are from different cultures or different languages or different religions, and the anxiety of seeing your daughter married or falling in love with somebody who is not from your people. It's really interesting to see that explored in a Bollywood film, and I really appreciate it. I would love your feedback on this and any trivia on this film. It's such a beautiful, innocent 80s film, I think, in this scene, and I really admire the message. I would love for you to give me feedback on that, and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Do let me know what you think. I'm really appreciating seeing the old films alongside the newer ones, and I'm just loving this journey. And also I appreciate all of the people's suggestions on upcoming projects that I could look at. I must also thank the person who has been translating the lyrics and subtitling them for me, Taran. You've been doing a great job and I appreciate it so much. All be safe. All be well, and I send love to you all from the British Isles. Your Brit Reacting to Bollywood is saying, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, ta-ta for now.